Alright, what's up YouTube? I'm back here again doing another tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to actually do a burst fade with the design on the side. Here I'm just coming through the hair following the wave pattern that he has. So I'm just trying to get the canvas ready basically. Now I'll be going in with my one guard with the lever open, so it's kind of like a 1.5, just a little bit shorter, and he likes that length, so that's why I'm going with the grain. I'm following the wave pattern that he has. Now I will be showing you the back in a moment right now, but you will see that his cowlick, his little spiral in the back that he has, is kind of like all over the place. So you will see that I'm going like different directions because of it. As you can see right here, it goes up, it goes sideways, it goes down, and all of that. So I'm trying to find the best way for I won't have to like cut it the wrong way. So I have to go with the grain and following the pattern. Now here I will be using my trimmers, going halfways of the ear and of the back of the head, and going towards where and putting my bald line where the end of the eyebrow is, and balding that out with the trimmer, making a perfect half circle around the ear. And then here he doesn't really like to keep his beard, so he tells me to remove all the stubble. Now here I will be using my clipper with the lever open. I will be doing 1/2 of an inch of a guideline, and then I will be closing it, taking out that guideline, and then opening it little by little, and then using my corners to detail. Now we'll be using my number one guard, going a full inch, and I will be brushing down the hairs. As you can see, with this type of hair that is coarse, and the hair always sticks up, so you have to make sure that you brush it down, or you can comb it down also, it works also, but I suggest brushing it down. And then here I will be doing it with the lever open with my number one guard, just making sure everything is going down smoothly, and then I'll be closing it a little bit for it can blend together. If I still see a little bit of a guideline, I'm gonna use my 1.5 guard, lever open, using only my corners right now, and then making sure that everything blends together perfectly. Now here I will be using my half guard, my 0.5, with the lever open, making 1/2 of an inch guideline, and then closing it and using my corners, taking out that guideline, making sure that it's blended. Now here, these are basically all of my steps for a fade. Now after this step is usually all detail work. So I will be using, when I'm done with my half guard, I will be using my zero guard that comes from Stylecraft. That one, for me, it blends really good and is for detailing whenever it comes towards a one guard and a half guard. So using my corners and all of that, I will be detailing the haircut so much that it will literally come together perfectly, going with the grain, against the grain, and all that. I also will be using my masters. The blade for them is also really good for detailing. It's really good for getting in between the little hairs and brushing and all of that, for this burst fade can come out super blurry. And again, I'm just using my half guard, just if any little dark spots that I see, I'm just detailing. It's just detail work. It's key for a fade. Here I am lining up the back of the head, making sure it's nice and perfectly straight, um, and symmetrical towards the back of the middle. In the middle of the back of the head, it has to be perfectly aligned. Not one side is moved to the left and not the other side is moved to the right. It has to be perfect in the middle. And then here I'm just lining up the C cup, making sure I don't push it back. I'm just lightly touching it. And as you can see, his corners is kind of dark. I mean, kind of light, so it won't be. He likes it as dark as possible, but it is not dark enough, you know. So I will be adding enhancements later on. And here I'm just using my corner work, lever open, closing it if I have to, little bit by little, making sure this first fade is coming out blurry. Now on this side, I will be explaining it again. I'm preparing my this side for the design. It's a freestyle that I came up with. I'm preparing it right now with the 1.5 lever open and then closing it little by little, basically fading down, making sure that it's all even. Now for this, whenever you're doing a freestyle design, if you're copying off of another image, I say draw it out first, making sure it comes out right. If it's just from the top of your head, use a non-zero gap trimmer and just go for it. Do just a couple lines, or you could draw it on a piece of paper first and then just copy it from there. But don't press too hard on your designs whenever you're doing them at first, because at the end, then that's when you will actually detail the corners, making the design wider and all of that. So right now I'm just going through it fast. I'm just drawing lines, curving them, doing triangles or whatever. Now there, I didn't finish that little point at the end because I will be coming back when I'm done fading it and lining it up with the back of the head. Here I am starting my bald line halfway like I did on the other side. Now as you can see on that very corner, I did spread my bald line a little bit more into that design because I want it to be a little bit more of a transition from light to darkness. So I'm just doing with the same steps that I did with the fading on the other side. Try to make the darkness for a design for it can look enhanced, like a number 1 with the lever open. Here I'm just using my half guard, detailing the haircut, the blend, making sure it comes out blurry towards the design, keeping the line as dark as possible. So whenever I do come back and detail it and make the lines sharper with my zero gap trimmer, then it will actually make the design pop. I also decided to add a small blend on the top circle. And basically is the same steps, just that fading down. So I'm doing the bald line. I am using my half guard right there, lever open with my clipper, closing it little by little, and then I'll be using my masters because those are adjusted to be a 1, so I'm just detailing it. So now here I'll be making sure that the design is connected towards the back and the lineup is also straight. Making sure that the V in the back is perfect. Now here I'll be coming in with my zero gap trimmer. detailing the design, making the line sharper and wider, making sure every little hair and brushing it down is all out. Whenever you're making the line sharper, you have to go like different ways with the trimmer. You will be going up, down. You have to flip the trimmer sideways and all of that. Mainly use your corners. You can't put just a blade full down on a design unless it's a straight line. If it's a straight line, then you can do it. But if it's curves, you have to use your corners. As you can see now with the number one guard that I left on the design, it actually made the design pop. Here all I'm doing is just cleaning up the stubbles. Here with the design, I found this angle that I tried before I can teach y'all towards a lineup, but it wasn't the best angle. But I'm gonna try my best to explain it. So what I usually always do is put it down with the one guard closed and then prep it with hairspray, and I lay down all the little baby hairs and dry it off with the blow dryer. Now I'll be starting in the middle, starting my way to the right, making sure I always do this towards every haircut. If I always line it up as natural as possible, I don't make it straight right away. So I try to line it up as straight as possible, as natural as possible. If it's round, I'm gonna make it round. If it's square and it's perfectly aligned already, then I'm gonna make it straight. But for him, his lineup was a little bit sloppy whenever it's natural. So one side is higher than the other, as you can see right here. So what I'm going to do is make sure I turn him facing me and making sure that I raise up a little bit more on the left side for it can actually match the right. So I will be pushing him back a little bit on the left side for it can actually be straight. But it's only because his natural lineup is a little bit crooked. And here I'll be using my pencil, making sure that the lineup is straight. I usually do this because it contours towards the skin. I've explained it before. I do not leave this line there. I always blend it. And here I'll be adding a little bit of the enhancements on the hairline. Now here, before I did this clip with the razor, keep in mind I did add a little bit of shaving gel. Not too much, but I added enough, and I mixed it in also with a little bit of water for the blade can just glide through and remove all the little stubbles and make the design sharp. I say if you want to do a design or you want to do a shave, add whenever you apply shaving gel, add a little bit of water towards it. The blade will glide more smoothly. And here I'll be using a little bit of enhancements just on the edges for the design can pop a lot more. I usually do this mostly whenever it comes towards pictures or even videos, but also like in this occasion, my client likes it whenever I go all out. So I will be applying enhancements on his hair, designs and everything. As you can see, the lineup that I did with the color pencil, the magic pencil, I will be erasing it and blending it with the skin with the razor. No shaving gel. I do it dry and brushing all the little residue away. Now here's my detailing with my trimmers, brushing down the hairs, making sure there's no little hairs sticking out. Basically here I'm not retapping it, I'm kind of freehanding. So here's the end of the burst fade with enhancements, super blurry, super clean. Here's the tutorial. Hopefully y'all enjoyed of a burst fade in my freestyle design. Y'all like, subscribe, comment down what y'all think. And man, I'll see y'all on the next one. Make sure to follow my social media down in the corner.